Next on UMass Hoops Insider, the Minutemen are in the city of brotherly love looking to continue their hot stretch in A-10 action. We'll get you ready for the Saturday night contest with St. Joe's. And Coach Kellogg breaks down the art of becoming UMass's Mr. Big Shot. Plus, we show you how the Minutemen celebrated Kids Day last week at the Mullins Center. Fun for the entire family. UMass Hoops Insider starts now.
Now the UMass Hoops Insider with Derek Kellogg, brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Even after a loss Wednesday night in St. Louis, it's been a great couple of weeks for the Minutemen, who at 5-3 are off to their best start in 4 years in Atlantic 10 action. They'll look for conference win number 6 Saturday night against St. Joe's. So again, joined by Coach Kellogg. You know, this has been another long week. It's the 4th consecutive week that you've had a plane trip right in the middle. How's everybody holding up?
I think the guys are doing well. It's kind of like a family trip where we're together for days on the road, spending time in airports, on buses, and in hotels. So it is a good team bonding time, but it gets a little rough on the road, especially academically. We've got to make sure the guys are taking care of their books while we travel.
It's like having a baseball schedule last month, hasn't it?
It feels like it, and we've had some trials and tribulations on some of our journeys, so hopefully it pays dividends on the basketball court.
Well, let's take a little closer look at this game. It's the Minutemen and the St. Joe's Hawks at 7 o'clock Saturday night. The Hawks have struggled mightily so far this season. They're one of the bottom teams in the Atlantic 10 going into February, but Coach Martelli, he always seems to get his teams playing better at the end of the season. And Coach, with so many young guys that they've been playing, you start worrying that maybe this is the time they'll start to click.
Yeah, Coach Martelli knows that UMass and St. Joe's are pretty much a rivalry game. Their team usually comes to play and plays hard, and anytime you go to Hawk Hill, it's a tough venture down to St. Joe's in Philadelphia. So it's going to be a battle-tested game on Saturday night, and we'll see how things go.
Well, in 2009, you won at St. Joe's when Chris Lowe drew a foul right in the final seconds and made the free throws. 2010, you probably had one of your best overall performances of the season. So 2 years in a row, you've won there. You've got some good memories of that place.
Absolutely. The game in the Palestra 2 years ago was a fantastic basketball game. I thought we played really well down there last year, and hopefully we continue the trend of playing well in the city of Philadelphia against St. Joe's.
Well, the tip-off is at 7 p.m. on Saturday night at Hagen Arena. There's no television coverage, so you can listen to me, Tim Collins, and Tim Kenny. That's on the radio, on the internet, the UMass Sports Network. Well, here at the Mullins Center last Sunday, the Minutemen picked up a big win against Rhode Island, and no one was happier than UMass's senior point guard who hails from the Ocean State. He's the only remaining member of the team who played in the 2008 NIT championship game, now looked upon as a leader to help bring along the younger Minutemen. With more, Big Y presents A Few Minutes with Gary CORREIA.
How you doing? This is Gary CORREIA from Providence, Rhode Island, number 11. I'm a senior guard here at UMass. My freshman year, making that NIT run was probably the most memorable time here at college so far. But another time was my sophomore year, the big win that we got at URI. I mean, I played well, and my grandfather was sick, so it was a game that I dedicated to him just because he couldn't get there and watch me play. My biggest role model was my father. I mean, he was somebody I looked to for guidance, for support, for advice. I mean, he was somebody who I know I could always turn to, and he became my best friend. So I say thank you. Thanks, Pops. Growing up, I was in love with Duke. And it was funny because my father hated Duke, hated him with a passion. So he wasn't a Duke fan, so I used to just rub it in whenever Duke would beat Carolina or they have a good season or something. Well, recently, Leonardo DiCaprio has been on his job. I mean, he came out with Shutter Island and then Inception, and those two are probably my favorite 2 movies right now. If I could plant an idea in someone's head, I would plant an idea in Bill Gates' head on to give me all of his money. Played the piano a little bit. When I went to prep school, music teacher taught me how to read music. So I went from there, and he taught me a couple things. I can play a couple things. Nothing too crazy though.
That's UMass senior point guard Gary CORREIA. Well, it's time to look backwards now. 2 games in the past week for the Minutemen to review for you. First, the rival Rhody Rams came here to the Mullins Center for a Sunday afternoon clash before UMass headed out to the Midwest on Wednesday night for a physical battle with Rick Majerus' St. Louis Billikens. It's time for the highlights here on Instant Replay.
Minutemen lead it by 11. Samson Carter takes it into the lane. His floater is good. Samson Carter's first 2. Timeout, Rhode Island. It's a great start for the Minutemen. How about a 15-2 lead? Von Farrell running the point. He's got it right-handed. Lobs baseline to Putney, who caught it, goes back down and lays it home off the glass. The inbounds pass to CORREIA, rolls to midcourt. Gary CORREIA picks it up and goes to Gurley, who steps into a left wing 3, and it's good. And UMass will take the lead lead into the half. Samson Carter to CORREIA, Minutemen by 2. Nice pass, Gurley to Riley for 3, and Freddie knocks in a trifecta from the left wing after some nifty ball movement by UMass to take a 37-32 lead.
I like how UMass has initially responded.
Well, Bailey stole a pass. He tries to take it himself. He does, and banks it in. Stopping on a dime. Tough for Delroy James. A pump fake James leaves for Jones. A 3 again by Jones. He's got his second straight 6-0 run all by the senior from beyond the arc, and it's 46-43 running the point. To the middle, Farrell again. He finds himself open and banks it in again from 5 feet away. Consecutive shots flashing through by the Junkyard Dog to give the Minutemen a 50-43 advantage. Gurley picks up Vincent at the top, 5 to shoot. Vincent to Gurley. Anthony to his left, steps back on Jones, takes the 3 by Gurley, and he canned it! Oh, with the shot clock buzzer sounding, he hit a 25-footer. And UMass leads by 11 as the crowd rises to its feet.
He just made that play along the baseline.
One of 2 double-doubles in the season for the freshman. Farrell forced to change hands in flight, and Putney there to follow it up. CORREIA. What a lob to Sean Carter.
What a nice look by CORREIA.
Conklin trying to set up on the block. Instead, Evans to kick out Cassidy. Why not? He's feeling it, and so are the Billikens. And the Billikens continuing to do damage from long range. And a response. That's a 2 from Vincent. Cassidy for 3. Gurley the other way. Mid-range floater, and suddenly UMass is knocking on the door of the lead. Lowe comes out to set the screen. Kick out, corner 3, Ellis. Yes!
So after the split last week, the Minutemen now stand at 13-8 overall this season. They're 5-3 in the Atlantic 10, which is a great start, their best since they won the A-10 regular season championship in 2006-2007. And one of the reasons the Minutemen had that big victory here at the Mullins Center against Rhode Island was a loud, boisterous crowd that was bolstered by a large group of youngsters who are here for Kids Day. Let's take a look back and see the festivities that they enjoyed.
Over the past several years, for quite some time, we've been doing Kids Club Days. And as part of our Kids Club Days, we decided to expand that a little bit this year to include a Kids Day. And what that is trying to incorporate some events and get more kids and children, young families involved in some of our home games. We invited some local organizations just at the beginning of Kids Day, as an example, to set up on the concourse. For example, the Eric Carl Museum, Berkshire East, the local family golf, miniature golf course, along with photos of Sam. We allowed kids to take some shots on a hoop on the concourse, and we gave them rally towels, those sorts of things, just to have some different activities going on the concourse. We invited those young families in early if they wanted to get to the game early, and we had those going on starting at about 2:30, right up until game time. At halftime, we had a elementary school from Newburyport, Massachusetts, and they did a whole dribbling choreographed routine during halftime. After the game, we had an autograph session that included for our kids club with the entire men's basketball team, and also some youth basketball teams that were there were able to get some autographs as well.
Kids Day today was awesome. We were so thrilled to be invited here today. We actually came up a little early because we know some students here, and now everybody wants to go to UMass, so we're having a lot of fun today.
Go UMass, we're #1.
What a great segment on all the kids who came out to help support us beat the Rhode Island Rams on Sunday last week. The face painting, the posters, the shooting the basketballs, those kids gave us a huge boost, so we appreciate that. But up next, when we come back, Anthony Big Shot Gurley knocking down threes to help the Minutemen.
Why shop at Big Y?
Because I'll make you a castle. I'll steam your crustaceans. Or a pirate ship. Thick, thin, or party size, you tell me.
Use my spoon roast recipe. It'll be our secret.
Or a Barbie cake?
My pies have a ton of apples.
Mine have pepperoni.
I'll tell you all about phenoxybenzamine.
Or a birthday surprise? Or...
She really likes her job.
Only the best for your family.
From ours.
The UMass Amherst Alumni Association is over 225,000 alumni strong. Our vibrant community participates in professional development programs, alumni clubs, athletic and other events around the globe. Explore the traditions, resources, and opportunities that are your UMass Amherst Alumni Association. Get connected today.
You are UMass!
Get your tickets now. Call 1-866-UMass-TIX or visit UMassathletics.com.
Welcome to My Coach. Choose your sport.
My coach says, I gotta get faster. My coach says, I gotta gain speed. My coach says, just listen to my voice. My coach says, I know what you need. My coach says, I'll be faster on the fast break. My coach says, I'll be faster through the hole. My coach said, I'll be faster to the ball. My coach said, be faster.
It's 2010. What happened to cloning ourselves? I mean, if we at Coke Zero can copy real Coke taste with 0 calories, why can't you have more you?
Have the foundation that I need. I mean, they had the bad one that made my skin break out, but I am not buying that.
Oh. We don't know how it would work. But we do know things can be cloned. I'm looking at you, scientists.
Da, 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 da.
The UMass Hoops Insider with Derek Kellogg, brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Welcome back. It's UMass Hoops Insider. The Minutemen in Philadelphia Saturday night for a matchup with St. Joseph's. 95-96 flashback time for us, and the Minutemen took that incredible undefeated streak into the middle of February in 1996. They were at 24-0 when they went down to Blacksburg, Virginia to take on Ace Custis and 10th-ranked Virginia Tech. It was arguably the biggest game that Virginia Tech had ever had at Castle Coliseum up to that point, but it was Marcus Camby who stole the show. Let's take a look back. February 17th, 1996.
Now everybody in the country knows that UMass is undefeated. What you may not know is only twice have the Hokies fallen. They are 19-2. Well, the other night he did 15 against LaSalle. On the jumper, under pressure, and Camby is stepping up early. He's got 9, calling it for the Atlantic 10 today. Camby again. Dingle, great box out. Camby from Travieso, and that's 13 for the big fella.
It's getting after you, and they steal the ball about almost 8 times a game.
Dante Bright, a great look. Easy again for Camby. He's 7 of 9.
And if you work hard enough, good things are going to happen.
Indiana Camby, that's the 3rd time today he's escaped right under the basket for a good look. 65. Virginia Tech beat him 91-88 in a tournament they hosted here. Camby, tough shot on the drive. He's got 23. Down to 20. Ace Custis with help, so Camby turns the other way. Look at that touch. Wow. 27.
The Minutemen have proven once again they are the best team in the country by making good decisions, by stepping it up, by taking care of business one game at a time.
74-58 will be the final.
31 points for Camby, a dominating effort to help lead UMass to consecutive victory number 25. Virginia Tech would make March Madness, and they would lose to eventual national champion Kentucky in the second round of the NCAA tournament. We're about to send it into the film room for Coach Kellogg to do a little film study for us. At the end of close games recently, and UMass has had a lot of them, the Minutemen have been looking to their senior leader, Anthony Gurley, to take and make the big long-range shot. To show us how he's been so successful in those situations, let's go to Coach Kellogg for Coach Chalk Talk.
Here we are once again in front of the Breen, the place where all the tapes and video is watched. This is a special day as we have Anthony Gurley to watch his maturation process over the last couple years. Has been great as a coach and really rewarding as a team and a program. We call him Anthony, the big 3 shot maker Gurley, and here we go. It starts with our game versus Dayton. We run a set play out of a timeout to get Anthony a wide open 3. and he knocks it down, frees it with about 3 minutes left on the tape, and really secured our win. Next up will be our game versus LaSalle. Anthony Gurley against the zone defense, finds a spot against the defense here, run it, where he raises up over the defender, cool, calm, and collective, and knocks down a 3, and really gave us a boost to win that game and secure the victory. Here we are. Insert Anthony Gurley, frees it with 2 falls in the first half. He goes in on offense with 8 seconds left in the half, and we need a basket here to give us a little momentum to go in the second half. Run it. We go into our double ball screen high, raise Anthony Gurley on the wing here, calm, cool, and collectively, knocks down the 3, frees it, and that gives us a huge boost going into the second half up 3. And the last one, maybe the biggest shot of the year, potentially of Anthony Gurley's career. 3:29 left. He gets the ball with 9 seconds on the shot clock. He works the defense, doesn't settle for a bad shot, and you'll see when we run the tape how he now ball fakes the defender, gets him in the air, and knocks down a 3 to secure the win and a huge victory for the Minutemen. Run the tape. Here's Anthony catching the ball, moving the defense, ball fake, shot, crashing the glass here, knock it down, go up by 11, and that really secured the victory. Anthony Gurley has become a complete basketball player for me and our program, doing an unbelievable job of finishing games for us, and has really become our Anthony, the 3-point weapon at the end of the game.
Anthony Gurley, UMass's Mr. Big Shot of late, especially in Atlantic 10 play. Thanks, Coach. We're going to step aside for just a couple of moments, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going straight onto the practice court, and we'll see what the Minutemen are working on as they prepare for the trip to Philadelphia. I smell some X's and O's. Stay tuned.
The thing I like about UMass is that there's so many choices, so many options.
It's incredible to be able to go to a school that is this diverse.
To be able to put on my resume that I've done marketing for the show Glee and movies that have been #1 at the box office.
I came from Chicago to UMass for the sports management program because it's one of the top programs in the nation.
And I love having a practical major where I can be at school and feel like I'm doing something.
There's so much research going on here. There's lots of opportunity for undergraduate involvement in research that you don't get at a smaller institution.
Why, Chefy Big Y? How about our bigger, sweeter greatness?
And our huge Super Bird rotisserie chickens.
We have a word for the other store's birds.
Appetizers.
There are lots of fish departments in the sea.
But ours has U.S. grade A seafood. Right, pal?
And we make your fish and chips to order.
The biggest reason to shop here?
We have the best sales week after week.
Only the best for your family.
From ours!
Welcome to My Coach. Choose your sport.
My coach said, I gotta get faster. My coach said, I gotta gain speed. My coach said, just listen to my voice. My coach said, I know what you need. My coach said, I'll be faster on the fast break. My coach said, I'll be faster through the hole. My coach said, I'll be faster to the ball. My coach said, be faster.
I'm Tom McLaughlin. I played here from the 1970 to the 73 season. Came back and coached here in the early 80s. I had coached at Stanford and Notre Dame, and came back to coach here for a couple of years. My favorite memory was right here on this court. I met my wife. I went after a loose ball that went into the stands, and back in the 70s, the students would sit on the side of the floor. I banged into this girl, and I hit it pretty good. So then I saw her later that night on campus, and I went up and apologized to her. And little did I know, we got married and have 4 kids, and so the cage has been very good to me. Well, UMass was very good to me. I started out at Stanford and Notre Dame, and then came here to coach. And then after that, I worked for Bob Wolf, the legendary sports attorney in Boston. And Bob, I worked for him for 8 years, and Bob passed away suddenly of a heart attack. So then I started my own firm. And we got to represent, we did stuff with Larry Bird, New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men, Larry King, and then when I started my own firm, I represented Bill Cartwright and Byron Scott, Alfonso Ellis.
Tom McLaughlin is only one of 2 men in the last 50 years to both play for and coach the Minutemen. The other, of course, Derek Kellogg. Well, speaking of Mr. Kellogg, it's time to go onto the practice court. We get you a drill each week, see what UMass has been working on. Today, it's getting ready for St. Joe's. So let's go over to the CORREIA cage for DK's X's and O's.
We usually take a couple managers or coaches with 2 pads, each of them with a pad, leaning on the big guy, hitting him and whacking him. The big guy's creating space, and then when the shot goes up, they're going above the rim, once again rebounding in snatch mode, bringing it to the chin, clearing out the defense with a nice legal play, and then pivoting out and giving a good chest pass to the coach. You'll see here, we call it basically our 1-on-0 rebounding drill. He's going to work to get position and fight for position and be strong in the post area. So here's how it goes. When I yell shot, I want the guys to get away with the pad so that he don't end up stepping on their foot or getting hurt as he jumps with their knocking him while he's in the air. So here we go, fight for position down here. Maxie working, good, good, good. Shot, go get it, go get it, go get it, good. Pivot, outlet, outlet, good, good. I'm gonna put a little nice touch on this one now so you can go above the rebound and get it, okay? Above the rim. Good, work, work, low base, low base, low base. Shot, go get it. Good, good, good. Outlet, outlet. Now I always like to teach to make sure the guys go up with 2 hands. That was a pretty bad pass by the coach. Maxie actually does a pretty good job with 1-hand rebounds, but we're gonna work with them so that if you could go with 1 hand, you can probably go with 2. If you can go with 1, you can probably go with 2. Here we go, working down there, Maxie, working, good, good. Up, shot, above the rim, good, good, outlet, outlet, good, good.
Good job, Coach. That looked like a football drill right there with the pads.
Absolutely. We're trying to teach toughness with our big guys, and we do that drill just about every day with our big guys, so they work on being strong in the post, rebounding the ball above the rim, and I think it's paying dividends for guys like Big City, Hashim Bailey, Sean Carter, and all the guys who are working to paint for us.
There it is, DK's X's and O's. When we come back from our final time out on the show, we're going to think about Hollywood, and we'll see which actors would play the UMass players in a movie, including Coach Kellogg. We'll find out when we come back.
UMass Amherst Alumni Association
provides resources for alumni
and students,
like campus to career programs, online tools,
scholarships and mentoring opportunities
that prepare students for life after graduation.
The Alumni Association sponsors student traditions
and athletic events.
Make connections at social,
professional,
and cultural alumni events
across
the country.
You are UMass!
It's 2010. Weren't we supposed to have time machines by now? I mean, if we at Coke Zero can give the world real Coke taste with 0 calories, why can't science give us an unlimited supply of do-overs?
Man, you dance like a man.
I dance like a man?
What? No,
wait. We've bent the rules of taste. Physicist, isn't it time to bend time?
Da 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 da.
The thing I like about UMass is that
there's so many choices, so many options.
It's incredible to be able to go to a school that is this diverse.
To be able to put on my resume that I've done marketing for the show Glee and movies that have been #1 at the box office.
I came from Chicago to UMass for the sports management program because it's one of the top programs in the nation.
And I love having a practical major where I can be at school and feel like I'm doing something.
There's so much research going on here. There's lots of opportunity for undergraduate involvement in research that you don't get at a smaller institution.
The UMass Hoops Insider with Derek Kellogg, brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Welcome back. The Minutemen will be in Philadelphia on Saturday night for an Atlantic 10 7 o'clock matchup with St. Joe's. You ever play the game with your friends, which actor do you look like? I know the Minutemen staff and players do quite frequently, and so we decided to ask some of them today, which actor would play you in a movie? Interesting, right? Let's see what they said. It's our Hookie Loud Lighter side.
I have to say Denzel Washington. A lot of people say I look like a young Denzel.
Probably Vince Vaughn because he's fairly tall and he's a goofy guy. I don't know. Pretty funny.
Probably have to go with Denzel. Yeah, Denzel, because he's laid back. You know what I mean? Like me. Good choice for me.
I hear a lot that look like Joaquin Phoenix. I don't really
agree with it or think that, but I guess since he looks like me, I guess why can't he play me? Or I look like him, so why can't he be a perfect guy to play me?
I was at the beach one day and like a couple females came up to me and it was like, oh my gosh, you related to Denzel Washington? I was like, nah. It was like, well, you look just like him and stuff like that.
No, really?
Yeah, I'm serious.
So if we put you next to each other, you think you and Vince Vaughn would you'd be a pretty good match?
I don't know. I may have like a foot on him, but I don't know. Be kind of goofy.
You think you guys look a little bit alike?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the good hair. You know what I mean? The good teeth. You know what I mean?
Oh, let's see those pearly whites again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Play Johnny Cash.
That's the only role I know him from, so that's not a bad role. That's a good movie.
Let's see the smile. You're cool like he is, right?
Of course, yeah.
What's your favorite Denzel movie?
Man on Fire, actually. I like that one.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is a good actor. Yeah. Also Training Day. I like that one too.
What about the teammates or the guys on the team that suggest that Vern Troyer should play you? What do you say to them?
I don't agree with that one. There's only one reason for that, and that's not a good reason to have someone play you.
What's the reason?
My height and his height are not quite similar, but closer than most.
You ever do any acting yourself?
Not really. Well, when I was younger, I did a little bit of acting.
You did?
Yeah.
Where'd you act in?
I acted at my elementary school play and middle school and stuff like that.
What was your feature role?
I was it was a side role, but I didn't have one of the main parts, but I still got a.
Well, maybe Denzel didn't either when he was in elementary school.
True. Maybe I got an acting gig in the making. You never know.
I've asked you this before. I think we did it 2 years ago. You said Andy Garcia would play you. You still going with that?
You could stick with that or one of the Baldwin brothers, but nobody would play me like they would you being Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest would be Josh Mauer.
No, I don't think he does movies.
Yeah, he can, though. He would be Josh Mauer.
Very good. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we got to take a final look at some topics that we haven't asked Coach about yet in the show. We call this UMass Catering Quick Bites. We were looking ahead. After the game on Saturday night, this will be a nice little break. 8 days before your next game against George Washington.
Yeah, no, well, everybody's having a nice break. I'll hit the recruiting trail right from Philly and visit some high schools and along the way, so it will be a good break for the guys on the team.
So no rest for the weary.
Never. Continue to try to build the program.
All right, so how about, we were taking a look at the Atlantic 10 standings, and at this point you can't help but notice what Duquesne is doing. What a great start for the folks out in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Coach Everhart does a great job with those guys. They play so hard and compete at a high level. Some senior guys on that team that have really taken a huge step forward, and right now they may be the team to beat with Xavier in the conference.
Undefeated going into the month of February in the Atlantic 10. Well, next Sunday is your next home game. That's against George Washington at 4 o'clock on the 13th, and that's also the Jack Lehman legacy.
Yeah, Coach Lehman, he has a special place in all of our hearts. Did an unbelievable job here to see Mrs. Lehman and Lori come to all the games. It's a special day, and hope all the fans come out in honor of Coach Lehman.
You already said earlier that that's my hometown in Philadelphia, so it is cheesesteak time, right? Where's your cheesesteaks place of choice?
It's a combination of Geno's and Pat's. We like to go across the street and get a half at each place and share it. You just can't eat 10 of them like our buddy Tim Kenny did on the radio last year and was sick for a week.
All right. We'll get some cheesesteaks and hopefully a victory to boot on Saturday night.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking forward to.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another edition of UMass Hoops Insider right here at the Mullins Center. Have a great weekend.
The UMass Hoops Insider, brought to you by Coca-Cola, Big Y World Class Markets, Adidas, UMass Catering, the UMass Alumni Association, the Hookie Lounge, and UMassathletics.com.